So, what I want to do today is share with you guys a real life story, something that has happened in my daytime job that has nothing to do with World of Warcraft, that has nothing to do with raiding or guild leading or whatever, but something that has happened to me. I want to share with you guys an observation that I made, feedback that I then provided, and a source of frustration, not for me. Fortunately, not for me, but for my manager. I have mentioned many times throughout this channel, throughout the videos, that my normal 8 to 5 ish, sometimes we have to stay a little later, come in a little earlier, but my normal job is I am a manager at a very large company, and my team that I'm in charge of is the team of technicians that come out and fix your computer. So your computer catches on fire, you break a program, you need something installed, you need something changed. We're the guys that come out and do it. Okay, I've been doing this job for about 12 years at the time of this recording for this video. Hopefully this channel stays for many more years. So I've been doing this a long time, and I've been the manager for this team for quite a long time. Now, I've mentioned that we have a group of technicians that go out and fix your computer, whatever's wrong with it, or maybe you need something added to it. However, we have some support staff, some folks that help with things like inventory management. We had a gentleman that had actually left the team. He had moved on, etc. And we had an opening. Now, we hired about 2.5 years ago, this young man who filled that position. We thought that he was going to be a great fit. He was originally hired on as a help desk agent. He took phone calls. If you called in and said, "Hey, my computer's broken," this is the guy you would get. He interviewed, he applied, he interviewed, we took him on. We thought he would be a great fit for the team. He came on, and throughout his lifespan, I guess we'll say, in this role, he had many issues that we could probably do quite a lot of videos on. Now, me personally, I think that there were a lot of contributing factors to the issues that my manager, who oversees, multiple teams, and her source of frustration or sources of frustration with this guy. I don't want to say that they were all his fault. I don't want to say that they were all manifestations of her. Like I said, many videos that we could do about this, but we're not going to get into all of them right now. I want to talk about a very specific one, and this is the actions that he took when he was asked to do something. So specifically, like I mentioned, he was the inventory guy, and she would come up to him, or she would get, ask me, "Hey, I need to know this information. Go find it out." I'm on it, and I would go to him, and I would say, or she would say, "Hey, how many of this model of laptop do we have in this location? Because we have this project that's coming up." And his response was, "I don't know." And it ended there. It ended there. And she would become frustrated, because that was the end of the conversation for him. She would go back to her desk, and she would manually look up the information herself. Now, there are two problems here. Okay. The observation that I had and the feedback that I provided was, that's not where the conversation ends. And I share this with both parties, my inventory management guy and my manager, that this is not where the conversation ends, that it is not, how much of this do we have at this specific site? I don't know. It's, how much do we have at this specific site? I don't know. Give me a second. I will go find out. And this went on for a while, where she would ask questions. How much of this do we have? When is this coming in? Where's this at? I don't know. I can't remember. Not sure. And she would continuously end the conversation, not follow through, and instead go each and every time to get the information herself. And this was the source of frustration. So what I want to share with you guys today is, if you are in a position where someone above you, management, team leader, more senior, whatever, asks you a question, it's totally cool to not know the answer. most times. However, here is the problem. I've talked about probably one of my very first videos on the channel when we kind of rebranded it and we redid the whole thing. And, for those of you that maybe have followed for forever and know that it was a complete mess in the beginning. But one of my very first videos was the discussion rather, of the difference between stupidity and ignorance. Okay? The willful disregard for information versus simply not knowing. And this is the problem that we had with this gentleman that was only made worse by allowing him continuously to do it. She continuously gave him raises, the 2 or 3 years, like I said, that he was with us. There was no feedback that she gave him that said stop doing this, and he never learned his lesson. And that was on him. That I would provide feedback, and it wasn't heeded, unfortunately. But the idea that you don't know something is okay, but you have to be willing to go out and find the answer. And this is something that I would say is very applicable, not only to your day-to-day, 8 to 5 or whatever your schedule is, your normal cash money making job, but it's also applicable to World of Warcraft, to guild leading, to raid leading, to being an officer, to being a raider in general. I don't know this mechanic for this boss. Hold on, let me check the dungeon journal. Or hold on, let me go pull up, any, all the resources, any number of resources out there on YouTube, on Icy Veins, on all these other websites that, can show me what this ability does. And that, I think, is a huge difference between a quality worker, a quality raider, a quality raid leader, a quality officer, a quality guild leader, and someone who is worthless. Is the difference between, I don't know, end of conversation, and I don't know, hold on, let me go find out, or hold on, can you explain it to me, or I need a minute to go find that information out for you. So what I would urge you guys to do is, if you're in game and you are in a position where you don't know something, say something, figure it out. Take 2 minutes, pull up the dungeon journal, pull up, YouTube, pull up Wowhead, pull up Icy Veins, pull up something and figure it out. If you are talking about your normal everyday 8 to 5, 9 to 10, whatever job that you're working, and your boss comes to you and says, give me an answer on this, and you were unsure about it, that's fine. As someone who's been in a managerial role for, a good portion of my professional life, not knowing something, I'm cool if you don't automatically know all the information in the world about, the company and the comings and goings of the company. But what I'm looking for, if you don't immediately know, is the then initiative and action to go, which we've talked about initiative, to go, I'm going to go find out. Give me a second. I'll get right back to you. And that would be the difference between a very ineffective, very poor employee and an amazing, star employee, is that one action. So that's what I'd urge you guys to do, to learn how to do, to be willing to do. That, yeah, it takes balls, it takes guts to go, shit, I don't know, man. Let me go find out. That's the difference between good and bad. So with that being said, guys, hopefully you like what I'm saying here. Hopefully, you guys know what to do. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. And until next time, guys, I'll see you.